in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. During the public consistory on canonizations on June 27th, Pope Francis issued a decree for the canonizations of Louis and Marie Martin, parents of St. Therese of Lisieux. They will be the first married couple with children to be canonized in the same ceremony. The canonization will take place on October 18th during the Synod of Bishops on the Family. Married in 1858, the couple had 9 children, 4 died in infancy, and 5 entered religious life. They were known to attend Mass daily, pray and fast, respect the Sabbath, visit the elderly and the sick, and welcome the poor into their home. Cardinal Angelo Amato, prefect of the Congregation for Saints' Causes, said the couple serves as an extraordinary witness of conjugal and family spirituality. The couple will be canonized along with Italian Father Vincenzo Grossi, founder of the Institute of the Daughters of the Oratory, and Spanish Sister Maria of the Immaculate Conception, a member of the Congregation of the Sisters of the Company of the Cross. More news now from the Vatican. On the feasts of St. Peter and Paul, 46 archbishops representing 34 countries who were named over the course of the last year were invited to Rome to concelebrate the feast day Mass with Pope Francis in St. Peter's Basilica. At this year's Mass, the Pope set aside a 32-year tradition by not conferring the pallium on new archbishops during the liturgy. The Pope did bless the palliums to underline their bond of unity and communion with him, but the actual imposition of the woolen band will take place in the Archbishop's archdiocese in the presence of his faithful. Monsignor Guido Marini, Papal Master of Liturgical Ceremony, said the change was meant to better highlight the relationship of the Metropolitan Archbishops with their local churches. During his blessing, Pope Francis told the archbishops that he hoped the pallium would remind them of their call to prayer, faith, and witness. Catholic News Service spoke with Archbishop Blaise Cupich of Chicago and Archbishop John Wester of Santa Fe about the liturgy.
I look at it from 2 fronts. The first is, of course, the unity that we all share with the Holy Father, and it was very touching for me to see at the end where he went with the Patriarch down to the tomb of Peter to pray for unity, and there was that beautiful song during communion as well, Udunum Sint, that they may be one from John's Gospel. But the other is meeting the other 45 archbishops from around the world and getting to know them and to see that there really is a bond of charity among all of us throughout the world. So I found it important from those 2 perspectives.
The Pope made that beautiful connection that the church was praying for Peter, and God heard the prayer, and God delivered Peter from the jail and escorted him to safety. And the Pope is, I think, telling us it takes courage to believe in prayer, because we oftentimes want to fall back on our own resources, and we think, well, I better do this on my own. And so the Pope is right, it takes real courage to pray and to believe that God will hear the prayer and to trust that God will hear that prayer.
Looking now at news from around the country, in a teleconference call with the media held after the Supreme Court issued its 5-4 decision that states must license same-sex marriage, Archbishop William Lori of Baltimore, who is chairman of the U.S. Bishops' Ad Hoc Committee for Religious Liberty, said that the ruling has implications for hundreds, if not thousands, of laws at all levels, and there's a difficult road ahead for people of faith. Joining him in the media briefing were 2 members of the Bishops' Subcommittee for the Promotion and Defense of Marriage, Archbishop Timothy Broglio, the U.S. Archdiocese for the Military, and Bishop Daniel Flores of Brownsville, Texas. Archbishop Lori said that although the ruling narrowly recognizes free speech, which is the right of religion to teach and advocate with regard to the true definition of marriage, it does not acknowledge, he said, that the First Amendment also protects freedom of religion and the right to follow that teaching. The Archbishop said that the Church should be able to operate its ministries without fear of being silenced or penalized. Another area that will require study, Archbishop Broglio said, is the military chaplaincy, because the Catholic priest chaplains, whom his archdiocese oversees, also come under civil authorities. The Archbishop went on to say that the Church must make its teaching on marriage very, very clear, while at the time be pastoral to individuals. And finally in the news, with an apostolic letter given motu proprio, or on his own initiative, Pope Francis has established a new Secretariat for Communications. The office will coordinate and streamline the Holy See's multiple communications outlets. In the letter, he said that the development of digital media requires a rethinking of the information system of the Holy See. Monsignor Dario Vignano, director of the Vatican Television Center, will lead the Secretariat as prefect. According to the letter, 9 Vatican media operations will be gradually integrated over the next 4 years while protecting people's jobs. They include the Pontifical Council for Social Communications, Vatican Television, Radio, Internet, newspaper, printing press, photography, and the publishing house. The new department will also take on the Vatican website and the official Twitter account of the Pope. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week. The Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.